FanRun Radio.
Enjoy the winners, everyone.
Back here on The Drive, FanRun Radio. Russell Smith, Baskerville, Baird Smith, no relation, through the glass this afternoon as we are pleased to welcome to the program the new head baseball coach at the University of Tennessee, Josh Elander, joining the show. Coach, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Hey, guys, doing great. Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, man. Whirlwind couple of weeks for you, no doubt. Flashback to the end of last season after the Super in Arkansas. If I had told you that you would be the head coach at Tennessee the next time the Vols took the field, your reaction would have been what?
I probably would have laughed at you, to be honest with you. I think that's the easiest thing. And no, that was a crazy deal over there in Arkansas, great program and all that, but very thankful for the opportunity here and excited for what's.
Hey, thank you for joining us. I do want to talk just a teeny bit about personnel. We got a lot of other questions for you, but one that I wanted to talk about, there's been, lots of folks we follow in the media that has kind of wrapped up what fall practice looked like. And the one thing I noticed was you talked about the pitching, and you talked about how the pitching could still be really, really effective, may look a little different. And I from the writers, I saw some of the names that were mentioned, and the one that was not there, and I wanted to get your take on this, was Landon Mack. And I didn't see him mentioned as much by the writers, not so much by you. And my curiosity there is, how'd the fall go from your perspective for someone like Landon? I know, like Bo Rudy, Evan Blanco, we heard a lot of good things about them. How'd it go with Landon?
Yeah, I think we can look at how it ended. I mean, Landon threw the ball as well as we've seen it. I mean, it's kind of the premium stuff to give fans kind of a look at what's to come. It's a similar, even delivery and kind of makeup of Ace Dolander, right? So obviously he had a great career here, but he's like 95, 97, one of the better breaking balls on the team, throws two different ones, also a changeup, but a premium athlete, a competitor. He was one of the few guys portal that was a Team UA collegiate team player, but had a few years of eligibility left. So now on the offensive side, we got a good group this year, right? So it was on the mound, our guys were hooked and locked in. And again, there was a little bit of growing pains there, but I think he's got a chance to be one of the better pitchers in the league. And this objectively is very exciting and undeniable.
You got good problems to solve to, so many players that look like on paper that they are worthy of being everyday starters in the SEC. So many pitchers who look like they can be weekend starters in this league. Of course, there's only 9 starters in the lineup, three weekend starters. What was your message to the guys as fall ball concluded last week as they head into what is obviously going to be an extremely competitive offseason?
Yeah, we talk about a ton of recruiting. Again, we want our guys to earn everything they get between the lines. So those conversations start when those guys are young and going through. We don't make promises, hey, you're going to be the shortstop, this or that. And our guys know and love the fact that once they get between the lines, it's may the best man win, right? So I think the competition internally will prepare us for the competition externally when we get to the league, because I think this year with the portal and some other things, it's going to be as deep as it's ever been. But I'm excited to see who handles that the right way, right? Because sometimes the competition can scare guys a little bit and put them in a bad spot. But for the guys that make it through, they're going to be the ones that, again, it's going to put them in a better spot to have success when we got a different color uniform across the way, which we're getting close to that every day right now.
Hey, Coach, I had a chance. There's a podcast I do in addition to this show, and this was a couple weeks ago right after you were named, and I had the good fortune to be able to talk with Reese Chapman, and great kid, obviously. And I'm just curious because he's so excited about, coming back for one more season. As you look around that locker room, you guys have a lot of talent there. You got some mainstays, but it feels like he could be one of the anchors, right? I mean, talk about Reese a little bit.
Yeah, just a phenomenal kid, an amazing family. I think the first time I saw Reese play, I believe he was in 9th grade at a random high school outside of Atlanta somewhere. Played for Brandon Goins, who has worked with PBR. Now he's actually a coach down at Texas State. But just an easy kid to root for, But I think defensive versatility, what he did last year, I mean, did an amazing job in right field. Threw out a bunch of guys, had a perfect fielding percentage. But then this year, we're getting him back because we never thought he would. We thought we were going to lose him in the draft. And again, he ends up sneaking through. But just a guy that knows the program inside and out, right? But there's no ego involved there. But, again, I think with some of the high, power superstars we have over the year with Fish and Keelan and Curley and Amick, and the list goes on and on. I mean, Reese had a phenomenal year last year, driving in over 50 and hitting double-digit home runs. So, again, we've actually had the fall been able to kind of work on more kind of some individualized stuff. We have such a big sample of data now, and our whole staff has done a great job with him. But he's a guy that, you can plug in there and you know what you're going to get, and that's one of the most comforting things as a coach for sure.
Talking with Josh Elander this afternoon here on FANRUN Radio. And, Coach, I know signing day was yesterday. It's kind of Christmas for coaches, and is a big transition for you guys. And, obviously you getting the job. Did you get everything that you asked recruiting Santa for?
Yeah, no. Well, I wish it was that easy where you just wished and Santa brought the recruits. Yeah, no, it's definitely as competitive as it's ever been in this league. And again, the cool thing is some of those guys committed 3 or 4 years ago. The recruiting rules have changed a little bit in the last 2 to 3 years, but just really thankful and grateful. With the transition that went on with Tony going to the Giants. I mean, we just tried to over communicate as a staff, so there was no surprises on the recruiting side, because in recruiting, surprises are not good, right? So we just tried to, again, lean on the relationships that we've, cultivated over the years, and thankful for those families to continue to trust in us and stick with us. But I think ultimately Tennessee is such a special place, and the brand name that comes with the Vols Baseball now is something that's attractive to recruits from coast to coast.
Okay, bear with me on this one. This is a two-pronged question, but first off, your new associate head coach, Chuck, is it Geralaman?
Yep, that's it.
Nailed it.
Wow.
1 for 1.
Perfect. I got to go. That's
Batting
it for
1,000.
me. Yeah. No, but I mean, I let me just tell you what my take was, just as a fan more than anything. When that move got made, it was like, I said to Russell, I was like, man, this guy's not messing around, right? This is not just, inheriting a program and, be the caretaker of it. Of course you're going to do that. But it felt like that was like a big time hire, and it's all about just continued growth. But talk a little bit about Chuck and what he could mean to the program.
Yeah, no, it's I think his resume speaks for himself. It's a unique deal where, again, obviously played in the SEC, was a great player, played shortstop at Auburn University, and then played pro ball for a long time. But our paths crossed for the first time. He was the volunteer assistant my last year at TCU. So, I mean, again, we've been in the trenches together in a lot of different roles, but, I think he's one of the best coaches in the SEC. And I think a lot of people in the league feel the same way. Just his feel for the game and his versatility with the skill set. I mean, he's done stuff with infielders, outfielders, hitters, just team defense and fundamentals. I think he's one of the better guys in the country with that. But just the ability to, again, the day-to-day, like he's a good vibes guy, which has always been a deal over here in our building. Is, again, it's tough in this league. Let's just have a good time and come to the yard and be excited to be here. And but simply, he's a guy I trust. He's family to me, and it's as simple as like stuff that maybe as I, sit in the new seat now, that some of the stuff on the offensive end, complete trust and some similar verbiage there over the years. But just we had always kind of joked about on the road, out running around recruiting, hey, maybe working together one day. And this is just thankful, kind of a stars align deal for this to work out like this, and excited to welcome Tara and his 4 boys to Knoxville here pretty soon.
Hey, Coach, Tony was famously eating a burrito and watching Tombstone when he first heard from Tennessee. That's his story anyway. Your situation, obviously a little different. Things moved really fast in that process. I was wondering if you could take us inside what the interview was like with Danny White and the committee there, and when/how did you find out that you were getting the job?
Yeah, no, it's well, I'm not a movie guy like V. I know he'd always drop the movie quotes in the team room, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have to step up my game there a little bit as we go. But no, that 4 or 5 days was such a blur. When kind of the news broke, and then there was kind of that interim period where V was working through it. I wanted to be respectful of his process and do his deal, and then it was quick. I mean, it was really a 48-hour period from when he told the team he was going to leave to when I was going through the interview process, and just tried to prepare like I would as a player. And that may sound weird, but just wanted to really kind of put my nose down and hey, this is what the program is now, and this is what we think it can be. And I really just wanted to harp on how great the people in the building are with our staff and then our players, and what a special culture we have and all that. And then, that was pretty quick turnaround. And then the next morning it was, I just got a text. It was, we were getting ready for practice, and went over there and met with the leadership and Danny White, and they offered me the job. And that seems like 100 years ago right now, but was definitely so excited. And the way the team was, it was Danny White's idea to pull us in and have, basically we kind of tricked them a little bit. We went with the sad faces, like, hey, coaches leave. And then we walked back in, but that was a moment I'll never forget. And then Alicia, who works in our administration over here, she actually got my wife and my 3 girls here too. So incredibly grateful for that, because having them all there in that moment after a pretty stressful week, it was a very relieving and motivating feeling.
When they tell you that you're the guy, do you flip out there in the office, or do you play it cool? Like, oh, yeah, all right, that's cool. Yeah, I can be the coach. That's good.
No, coach at Tennessee. Come on. I'll be honest. I never envisioned being the head coach here. I think a hug would have been appropriate, but we went with the classic, just a little dap up to hug right there. So that always makes it official.
Hey, I got to tell you, man, when we saw that video, because I saw it like maybe about a minute after it dropped, I just happened to be near my phone. And I think I speak for the fan base too. Their reaction was probably not too far off of what the players' reaction was. I just thought that video was gold, man. It was fantastic to watch it. And you handled it so well as well, just talking to them afterwards.
Yeah, no, very, very surreal moment. But again, I thought the easiest way to think about it was, I think it was just relief that everybody in the building, we could keep this train moving.
Yeah.
That's all we're trying to do.
What about the beard now? You shaved for the interview. Was there...
I knew this was coming.
I mean, is there a thought that maybe, is this a little too much? Or
before you answer, Coach, I got to say, because this was leading into Halloween, and I did Ted Lasso for my Halloween costume. Not that you care, but I usually carry a little bit of a growth, and I shaved, and I'm kind of like, now I'm kind of leaving it off. As kind of an homage to you, but I don't know. I haven't seen your video now recently. You growing it back?
Yeah, no, it's on its way back. I told somebody this morning that, the funny thing was, hey, I was just like, hey, I haven't done it in a long time, kind of gets you ready. It's like almost like putting on your uniform to play a game, right? You got to be clean shaven for the interview, right? So, but now, no, it's coming back, but it's funny. My 2-year-old, I don't think has ever seen me completely clean shaven. So when I did it the day before I left for the interview, I think she thought there was an intruder in the home. So that was kind of awkward there for a minute, and then she heard my voice, and then I got back in her good graces. But I'll let my wife decide on that from now on. But it is getting close to deer hunting season, so you got to have a beard for that, with being right around the corner.
There you go. Josh Elander with us this afternoon on the show, and you talk about the girls and the family back home, and I'm just wondering, because we talked to Tony a lot. You mentioned he's a big movie guy and all that stuff. You're your situation different. You got a family, and I'm a girl dad too, Coach. So I get it. Mine's 18 now, but where are we at? Are we in the My Little Pony phase? Are we doing the princess thing, or are we just waiting for the kids to go to bed so we can break out the bourbon, a little sports center? How do you like to relax when you're away from work?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Well, I think like one thing we've always tried to do, and Tony was amazing about it, is just being able to integrate my family into, whether it be coming to a game or coming to practice. And they had good feel. They were never in the way, but it's important for me our girls to be around and meet our players and all that. It's a family thing. If we're going to talk about recruiting, we got to live it. But, really for me, I'm a pretty simple guy, man. I mean, I like hanging with my family. I like being at the ball field, and I love recruiting. So, for me, I'm not like not a big movie guy. I think really just kind of, again, just leaning on whether it be one more phone call with the recruit or a little more intentional about one-on-one time, with my girls at night before they go to bed. But, again, just nothing too crazy, man. But if you do this thing right, it really is a 24/7 job. It really is.
What about the daddy hat? Is that staying in the mix?
Yeah, no, I don't know if I know I'm the head coach now, but I don't think I don't have enough pull to make that decision. So we always leave that up to the players. Now the thing is, I saw it the other day in the locker room, and it's like it needs to be washed about 15 times at least. There's been a lot of homers with that hat. So I think all that, even when Evan Russell came up with that idea way back when, and it kind of obviously stuck and then went viral. I know it went away for a little bit and came back, but that's not something even when V was here we ever really talked about. We just want our guys to be authentic and with what they're doing, and if they're going to do it, then let's do it, right? So we'll see if that makes an appearance again this year, but I'll leave that up to the hitters.
You imagine what that thing smells like?
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Hey, Josh, last thing for me here, obviously replacing Tony is a tall task. He was not only super successful on the field, but he was a rock star off of it. And I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts on how you connect with this fan base, the media, et cetera? You're doing fine here, by the way. Do you feel like you have to change anything now with the bigger spotlight that's inevitably going to fall on your shoulders?
Yeah, no, I think it definitely got to evolve for sure. And then again, just to be able to have kind of a backseat deal to seeing the impact V had in the community. I mean, it was just amazing. I think some of that is just being present at other sporting events, and it's been cool to see how great all the other head coaches get along and all that. But, actually I had a call with Marcus Freeman right after I got the job, and some of the best advice he gave me, and I don't know if he wanted me sharing it, but it was very simple. It was like, hey, you don't have to become something you're not. You got to stay true to who you are, right? So, again, that's something I'm excited to get to know more people in the community and be at more sporting events and have my girls there with me. But at the same time, we've never talked about, even when V was here, about, hey, we've accomplished some great things as a group, but, we really did put our focus into each day and just trying to, again, get our players better, take care of them, recruit at a high level, and then again, just kind of attack each day. And I think with, the majority of the people being here in the building, that's how we're going to keep rolling here moving forward.
Well, Coach, we can't wait, man. We love this baseball thing. I've been doing this show 15 years, and college baseball was just not something we talked about at all, quite honestly, before Tony got here. And what you guys have built is incredible. It's fun. It's entertaining, gives us something to talk about and in the summertime. So we are looking forward to it. What are your thoughts, man, when you walk out into that brand new ballpark that you guys worked so hard to make a reality with this super talented roster that you guys have assembled, and now you're the guy standing there making the hard calls? Yeah.
No, again, too, I think this program will never be about one guy, right? I think, it's cool. I got to see Chase Elander and Max Ferguson and Drew Gilbert were all here, and Trey Lipscomb. Everybody's in town. One of our former players is getting married. But it's cool to look to those guys. Part of the message to the team today was like, hey, those are the guys that built this place, and now it's our job to keep this thing moving forward. But again, as I'm looking out my office window right now, we got no turf on the ground. We're replacing that too, but there shouldn't be any extra motivation needed when these guys walk in, because I cannot wait to see this place full this spring. It's going to be a pretty good time over here at Lindsey Nelson.
So you got to move into Tony's office and everything. Did you redecorate a little bit? Say, time to put my vision in here?
Yeah, no, we kept the bones again. But no, I'm actually in here right now. So I've actually spent a lot of time in here in different capacities, but still getting used to it.
Nice.
To be honest with you.
Kicking your feet up on the desk, lighting a cigar. Here we go. I like it. All right, Coach, appreciate it, man. Hope we can do it again soon, and best of luck here this offseason.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.